In my previous video on why it's good to use a whiteboard, you could see how my canvas was built up bit by bit to end up with a complete set of information, text, icons, all hopefully built in an understandable way. That made me think about what the processes are for creating a whiteboard. What works for me when I want to build a whiteboard? Which sub-processes do I need to complete to get to the finish line? I imagine it's a little bit like when a writer wants to write a book. There is a whole lot of preparation you need to do before you can actually start writing the book. First and foremost, it's about finding a topic that interests you. For me, typically something from my professional work that I know of, or for that matter, something that I'm not so familiar with, but that I would like to learn more about. Other topics I have found interesting over the years relates to personal development and skill sets. If you do not find the topic interesting, it can be difficult to motivate yourself to move forward in the process, so choose the topic with care. To get the most important and right information transferred to your whiteboard, it is important to spend time researching on your topic. The internet is a great source of inspiration. I like to look for information that answer the typical WH questions, the interrogative words, the why, the what's, the hows, and so on. When you take your notes, use a tool like OneNote, which is great for copying information from the internet, as well, for that matter, to sort your notes into boxes. OneNote even allows you to take your own notes to the copied notes by using a digital pen. By taking notes to your research, by structuring it, it will help you to learn and retain the new knowledge. Before you start on the section around brainstorming, I will definitely recommend you to take a break, go for a walk, and get all your new knowledge structured in your head. Let your mind absorb all the new information. It is amazing what fresh air can do for you. Find peace by walking or just sitting quietly and absorbing all the information. This is a very important step in the brainstorming part and allows your mind to open up to be creative. Brainstorming and ideation will allow you to start getting ideas for how to build your final whiteboard, what it should look like, what it should contain, how to divide all your knowledge into chapters, and all this stuff that you want to include in the end result, and how to ensure that there is a golden thread through your whiteboard. I have my own smaller whiteboard here at home that I use with a lot of yellow stickers. So when I sit and look through my notes, I will find the things I want to include in the whiteboard, write them down on the sticker in a keyword, and then I will put the stickers on the whiteboard. And when all this is done, I will start arranging all the stickers into blocks, a bit like what I have learned in previous design thinking sessions. Once all this is in place, then you can start prepping your whiteboard space. From my interest in photography, I have learned to think about grid lines and see your canvas in sections using horizontal and vertical lines. Therefore, the topics you have chosen for your whiteboard must be able to match blocks of 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, or 9 fields at max. If you have more topics, you will have to prioritize and trash the remaining parts. Remember that simplification is a powerful tool, and your audience must be able to consume your materials through visualization, storytelling, and, like in a book, in parts. Now, when you have everything in place, your knowledge, your notes, your ideas, the storyline, your sections, your talk track, now you can start translating all this into your first draft. I prefer a piece of paper and a pencil for my draft. For your drawing and your icons, you can find inspiration on the internet I use a site called the Noun Project, where there are countless of different icons. You may have to do more than one draft before you end up with a final look with all the right information, the right drawings, the right visual effects. However, practicing drawing is always a good investment. And now you can translate all your work to a final version, either on your iPad, like this whiteboard here, where I use an app called Paper, or you can do a real physical whiteboard. The digital version allows you to refine, move content around, scale, and much more, whereas the physical whiteboard is more locked, more challenging, and here the value of your preparations is even more important, so you have an idea of what the result should look like. Both platforms have their advantages. However, I would argue that if you master the physical whiteboard, it is far more effectful with a live audience and much more interacting. Have fun.